Welcome back. Thank you very much, Daphne Rina, for that report. Of course, make sure that you do not have any hindrances, cultural, religious, family, personal, against science. Whether or not you believe science, it works, right? So make sure you get your vaccination. Doesn't matter what you think or what your theories have told you. But scientists have said it, and it will always be correct whether you like it or not. On Facebook, on KUTV Kenya's live stream, I'll be looking at your feedback. But we also have a poll there on KUTV Kenya. Make sure that you head out to your Facebook pages. KUTV Kenya, we're asking you how important or how does mental health affect how you work, right? Or you perform at work, or if you have a business, right? If your mental health is affecting your business or your place of work positively or negatively. So make sure that you vote on that poll, but also give me your feedback on social media on the hashtag Rise Today, hashtag BIASHARA Tuesday at Richard_Kenya. Right now, I'm joined on my right by Emmanuel Kiprono. He's on set to discuss matters of mental health. He has an initiative, but I'll allow him to introduce it. But he's also been nominated or been selected for 2 fellowships in the past, and he'll be telling me what those have been about and what he is working, what kind of efforts he has towards championing mental health. And that conversation, of course, that we're having on social media, the importance of mental health for business and for your place of work. Continue engaging with us, but now let's get to that conversation. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yeah, how have you been since the last you were here?
I've been awesome. Really.
Let's get your mic here.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, really just waiting for my graduation this Friday.
Congratulations. Leo ninakaa tu hapa na graduates, yeah, right? I was here with someone else who's graduating from the University of Nairobi. Congratulations to you and the rest of the guys at Kenyatta University.
Thank you very much.
Must have been quite a ride, yeah?
For years, with the COVID, we were not sure at some point there if we were going to finish, but yeah, God has been good.
Elimu ni bahari. Are you going to swim further?
Yeah, for sure. I have those dreams as well, like taking a master's, PhD someday. So
let's actually speak on matters of education first. How was your mental health throughout your academic journey?
I think everything was fine until last year when COVID came, right. And scientists were saying normally the vaccines take about 4 to 7 years
to be manufactured.
To be manufactured. So I was thinking like the next 4 years to 7 years
is when you might graduate.
Yeah, is when I might. So I was like a bit
scared about that, right?
Yeah.
But now you're here, you're done.
Yeah, for sure.
So what did you do to take care of your mental health during your academic journey?
Yeah, I would say really realizing what I came here for, like Kenyatta University, and like really working through that very diligently, being focused. So yeah, I would say, and some really hard days as well that were inevitable, like in every circumstance there are always that difficult times.
There are always those days, yeah?
Yeah.
And now we are trying to make sure that people are dealing well with those days, yeah? Whether they're going to business or whether they're going to work. You will always have one of those days. So what kind of mental health challenges do you figure are out there now that you're running an initiative that is focusing on eradicating that or on championing towards mental health awareness? What kind of challenges have you seen or did you see before all the way through running the organization? Yeah, the initiative.
Of course, I think I'll just first introduce my name is Emmanuel Kiprono. I run an initiative a project called Health 1 Plus, and I do this mostly online, so on social media. I share information. I do some very good research and share information on graphic and also articles as well that are very important in terms of just basic mental health issues. So I'm not really a psychologist, I'm just a champion. And these come from motivation from last year's events and, stories from my friends about how they were struggling, their parents, others separated, and they had issues, they're not sure about the future. There's confusion everywhere. There's a lot of reporting about death on TV. So that challenges you a bit. So this just came, I would say, just from COVID. It was born from COVID.
All right. What you've mentioned quite a few there, but what are some of those common things you feel bring about the mental health challenges?
Yeah, I think first the big elephant in the room, COVID-19. You know, with all these uncertainties, I was hearing initially about the battering that COVID has brought to the economy. So, you know, issues of finances that are very vital in terms of how am I going to survive tomorrow? You know how Nairobi is, right?
Am I going to be healthy to do that?
Yes, am I going to be even alive with the COVID, the deaths and everything? So that challenges, and also, you know, being able, losing someone, for example, you know, a lot of people have been lost over the past 2 years. And that is a traumatic experience as well for someone probably you loved very much, then losing that person, there's never like a replacement. So some of those, including even education as well,
as you mentioned,
exams, they can be very stressful.
Financial situation.
Yeah, other experiences, for example, we've seen issues, for example, with the police officers, right? A lot of cases of those committing suicide, doing a lot of things that are really unthinkable. And therefore, these are some of the reasons, like they come from job experiences. For example, for police officers, you know, they work in an area where every day they are first respondents to very bad situation, accidents, you know, carrying like a dead body or something that is, you know, it's not really good. So it affects, that builds up over time if you're not very careful, or if you don't seek help, then it goes to that point.
Right. Now, at what point will someone know? Because I think also accepting that you're having mental health challenges is a very huge step in championing for mental health awareness. So at what point does an individual know that they're having mental health challenges, or are there pointers that someone can use here? Yo, my mental health is not in a good state.
Yeah, I think first of all, realizing like everyone has a routine, right? Like every day, this is what I do. Once you realize that, I think I'm not really pleased, I'm not really happy with what I'm usually doing with my work. With that, start asking yourselves questions like, could this be something that is affecting me, like mentally? What can I do about it? So that you realize it very early and you're able to, you know.
You mentioned that you have to look at your everyday life to know at what point are you happy, at what point, you know, is there a change in how your emotional state of being is. And I am asking people on social media how important mental health is for them at their places of work or at their businesses. Do you feel like it has a significant contribution that we can now talk about it? You know, it could be a contribution, but maybe kidogo too. Is it significant?
I think it's probably the most important thing, actually, because you're being good mentally means you're able to perform in your job, you're able to concentrate very well and be able to deliver. I think it's the most important thing, actually, that as an individual you should be looking up to. And despite, you know, there is physical health where you can get sick and everything, mental health is also the same, like getting that injury or getting COVID or something. It's just one of those, so you should prioritize that very much. So
it's really easy to figure out your physical condition. You get sick, mguu inakuuma, kichwa inakuuma, stuff like that, things that you can take to the doctor. But mental health, at what point now do you know, how should people get to take care of their mental health daily? You're going to work, you're going to a business in a tank, profits are not anywhere to be seen, you're not receiving sufficient salary to take care of your well-being. And how do you now take care of your mental health to ensure it doesn't interfere with your life?
I think first of all, it's important to separate your mental health from your work. So you have your work here, your mental health as well. So taking care of yourself is first the most important thing, because it means if you're not healthy, you're not able to deliver at your work, right? So I would say first, it's very important to take care of simple things, and this is the information that we actually share. Simple things, for example, maintaining a healthy diet, eating healthy, so balanced actually, so proteins, carbohydrates, and you know, and also I can't emphasize more importantly the importance of sleep. Getting enough sleep after a very, very long day at work. Take about at least 6 hours, I could say, to sleep very well, and so that you can prepare for your next day.
Watu walale, right?
Watu walale.
John Mariam, Wednesday usiku ulale, my friend, before you come through for Throwback Thursday. All right, so Would you say mental health and crime are related?
A lot, actually, I would say, because over the last 2 years, we've seen the cases, violence that are related to mental health surge. Have been reported, a lot of them. One, a tragic one last week, I think, about a police officer in Kabete. And that is really something that shows how, as a society, we have really deep problems that we need to solve. And we don't really need to see this politicking going around, but instead, dealing with the real issues. So, yeah.
You've mentioned police officers, some of them killing themselves, committing suicide, killing their fellow officers, family members, their children, all this because of mental health issues.
Yes.
Is the government doing enough for, if it's not for its police officers and for the nation?
Yeah, I mean, the government is really trying. Recently, there's a mental health policy that has recently been passed in Parliament. Also, in July, there was the policy where CAS Mwangangi was saying that we are going to devolve the issue of mental health so that counties can also be dealing with this, and also communities. There are actually mental health champions all over in your community. You've probably heard of one of them who is basically championing this and looking at the welfare of the residents of that area. So yeah, the government is doing just a bit, but not enough.
What more do you feel like should happen?
Yeah, I feel like we need more progressive policies. If it will be very interesting for you to realize that the government actually doesn't collect data regarding mental health. So probably just picking out from other countries, developed countries, and putting those policies, but not developing data, policies from data that are country specific actually. So it is a situation that is, it's really bad, I would say. Yeah.
So health 1+.
Yes.
What is the 1+? You said. What is it about?
I think I was just saying, you can. Okay, 1+. I don't think there was really like something that just came in mind.
Right. Yeah, but it brings that positivity feeling. Yeah. 1+, more person in society, mentally healthy. You're doing the awareness online, and we are in a phase where social media is quite a big thing.
Yeah, for sure.
How can we all use social media in trying to champion for mental health?
Yeah. So you know how Twitter, they say those streets are they can really be tough sometimes.
Rough streets of Twitter.
Yeah. And also other social media, Instagram, there's a lot of roasting and things going on there. Now,
a lot of trolling happening.
Going on there. But now this is a safe space, like an area like Health 1+ is an area where you come and get real information that can help you your day to day, can remind you of how important you are. After the end of the day, can really just scroll and look at the very good information that is shared there. So yeah.
All right. So and you are doing this alone?
Yeah, currently I'm doing this alone. Hopefully in future I'm looking at registering it as an organization.
Right.
Yeah.
So this information, people can get it through your social platforms?
Yes, just social platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
What are the handles?
So just Health 1+. So Health 1 is a number and then plus as a sign. So yeah, just search through that, then follow as well.
Right. So now stigmatization is quite a thing when it comes to a lot of things in society, but now recently mental health. You find someone is really sad, jamaa kwa depressed, hataki mambo yake, jamaa kwa depression mingi sana. How do we mitigate against such?
Yeah, I realize that there are issues, mental health, even small issues like anxiety, right? They are part of issues that entail mental health. Not just that madman there in the in the villages, in the streets. Just small issues like anxiety that slowly, or stress that slowly leads to depression, and eventually it's just something that develops one step to the other, from one point to the other. Then eventually it becomes that state. So I would say like it's not good at all to try to judge the other person when yourself actually you could be experiencing that, the stress, the anxiety. That's why you're sharing that bad energy and trying to stigmatize another person.
Right.
So yeah.
So you were recently or previously have been selected for 2 fellowships.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about it, and if they are also part of this, the efforts towards championing mental health awareness?
Yes, so I was selected last year for a program called Millennium Fellowship. It's by a company called MCN and United Nations Academic Impact, based in the US. And these are basically training programs. Fellowships are basically training programs where you get to be trained by individuals that run business in terms of entrepreneurship and running on organizations. And you're able to interact as well with fellows that are in the same space of mental health and share that information from a global perspective. I was also selected for another one by Ford Motor Company. So as a Ford Fund Fellow. So this is also basically a training. We were supposed to go to Detroit, Michigan, to the headquarters of Ford Motor Company, but due to COVID, that did not happen, and we had to do it virtually. I would say it was a very good experience, but that's where I would also fault COVID-19, because I missed that.
You missed
trip.
it. You missed that trip to Michigan. Yeah, could have brought me a few souvenirs. But congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That shows very great. It shows greatly how you have this motivation or determination in towards the causes that you are championing. Now, since you mentioned that COVID-19 was among those things that prevented you from traveling at the time, let's put it in mental health. What can we learn generally, the lessons we can learn from COVID-19 and mental health since last year to this point?
Yeah, I think the first thing is on resilience. I think it has opened up a discussion on, are we really resilient, and what are we really been having this discussion about mental health, and how we can keep our young children, our youth, and also as older people, how can we start this conversation and be able to sustain a society that is mentally very well and wealthy, actually mentally. So I think it's about learning adaptability and resilience going forward, picking the lessons. I hope the government take that as well and continue to fund mental health in its Ministry of Health budget. So yeah. Right.
Mental health before money. That's what I'm tweeting out to guys on social media on the hashtag BIASHARA Tuesday at KUTV Kenya. You can make sure that you're engaging with us, and also vote on the poll that has said is on our Facebook on how or whether mental health is important for you at your workplace or at your place of business. Sometime back, on the Throwback Thursday show that is done by Ojong Mariam here on KUTV's Rise Today, every single Thursday, he was asking his viewers, when he was having this conversation on mental health, he was asking whether fame brings about drug and substance abuse, and now my question is whether drug and substance abuse leads to mental health issues.
Yes, it's actually one of the causes of mental health issues, and people usually take it as trying to to cope. Yeah, to cope up with that, but it essentially takes that forward, so that you have other problems relating to the drugs, and also the initial issue that is not solved by the drug that was.
Right. So people should get medical attention.
Yes, actually, there are quite resources that the government has. For example, there is that toll number that was provided. I'm not very sure that you can just call and be able to speak to someone about your situation. If it's advanced, you can always visit hospitals and mental health hospitals. For example, Mathare, which I'm told has a new name now, Margaret Kenyatta Hospital. Yeah, as of yesterday. Yeah, so you can always visit those institutions and you can get very good help.
All right, so make sure that you get medical attention that you require in your journey towards mental health. Of course, mental health is very important, as we've discussed here with Emmanuel Kiprono. For you at your workplace or at your place of business, it is important that you're in a very good state, you're not anxious, you're not panicking, you're not depressed, so that you're healthy to deliver and to get money. Mental health before money is what I am saying this morning, but make sure you give me your feedback as well, and I'll be looking at your thoughts. Where can people find Health One Plus, and also yourself on social media as we try and wrap up on the conversation?
Yeah, so on all social media platforms, and that is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Health One Plus, just health, one as a number, then plus as a sign. So that's where you'll find us. And also my personal handle on Twitter is at Kiprono 33. So yeah.
Right. So we're leveraging social media through Health One Plus. They're leveraging social media engagements to ensure that they're getting that information, the awareness on mental health. And I would say for you, don't stay with it. So don't stay within yourself if you're going through a mental health episode, or if you're in an anxiety phase, or in a panic state. Seek medical attention from the nearest hospital. There are professionals who are well versed in matters of mental health, and they'll be able to help you. See, tegemea mambo ya tweets, unaenda unasoma tweet. If you're at a workplace, if you're in your business, make sure that you go there, seek the professional help of a psychologist or also an actual doctor in hospital who will help you. There are meds, and there's also counseling sessions that you can go to get that help. That was mental health on BIASHARA Tuesday with Emmanuel Kiprono. Asante sana.
Thank you.
I hope to have you again for another conversation.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go for another break right about now. Alafu, we look around, look at the environment, look at the climate. Kumenyesha sana. Is your environment clean? Are you walking in the house ukiwa na uchafu? Kuna uchafu kwa nyumba? How are you managing the waste that you're producing this period of festive, the festive spirit? Watu wana hold sherehe pale kwako. Are you taking care of the waste that is coming out of that? And how are you separating it? Yeah, there's a difference between organic and inorganic waste, and how does that affect the environment? The chairman of the Youth Green Society has been here for quite a minute, and several times that we've had him here, and he's joining me in a short while to have a conversation on efficient waste management. So usiende mbali sana, tunatoka mental health, tunaenda kwa environment, so tunajali everything that is around you, that is taking care of how you are existing at your place of work or at your place of business. Continue engaging us on social media, and then tutarudi kusoma your feedback yote, alafu we have the interview and continue with BIASHARA Tuesday. Don't go too far.